After 7, we do have Chantal Marks, who's from F&B Wealth and Investment, and we're joined on the line by Jameel Ahmad, who's the Global Head of Currency Strategy at FXTM. Jameel, let's start off with you. We kicked off the week with some optimism following the announcement by President Trump late on Sunday that he will delay the U.S. increase on Chinese tariffs, which were scheduled for March 1st. Since that news, how is the global market and the picture looking right now?
Thank you very much for having me on FXTM as always. So yes, financial markets were certainly in a celebration mood yesterday. The Shanghai Composite Index advanced over 5%. You had a lot of emerging market currencies globally that were stronger against the US dollar. And also you had a stronger risk appetite generally. So you saw a lot of different global stock markets moving higher in momentum. Again, that was good for emerging market sentiment. The South African rand moved over 1.3% at one stage. What investors really want to see now is whether this so-called sign-in summit, which is what Trump called for before he left for Vietnam last night for the next summit with the North Korean leader later this week, what that means for financial markets, because a sign-in summit suggests to investors and suggests to everybody else that a trade deal was closed, which is fantastic for risk sentiment. It's fantastic for the global economy because this means there's a long-standing issue that has left financial markets very erratic and very much anxious should hopefully be closed the door.
Speaking of anxious, on the Brexit side of things, UK Prime Minister Theresa May is not really winning on her side of things. What's Brexit looking like, in terms of them getting at least a chance of delaying something on that front?
Brexit's still a very, very misty cloud. That's all we can say. Brexit remains very unclear. Nobody really knows what's happening, despite March 29th only being a couple of weeks away. The latest suggestion is that the Labour Party will today make a call, at least, that there should be a second referendum, that Theresa May probably is going to be left needing to push back the March 29th date into at least May. That's what the news reports. So again, we've seen a lot of movement in the British pound. British pound's moving higher because investors generally are thinking that Brexit will not happen, or if it will happen, it won't happen as early as next month, which again is good for risk sentiment, and is another reason why the South African rand can move a little bit higher based on markets no longer being so worried about a no-deal Brexit at the end of next month. But what I would say is that investors need to take everything with a pinch of salt when it comes to Brexit, because things can change very quickly.
News or information that you're going to be keeping an eye on throughout the week?
Well, we've got two major events this week. You've got the summit in Vietnam between US President Donald Trump and also the North Korean leader, so we're going to see what happens there. And also you've got a few testimonies from the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, where markets will be looking for a little bit more clarity over where the Federal Reserve stand when it comes to central bank optimism. Generally speaking, we do believe the U.S. trade tensions, or the trade optimism as it is now, is going to continue weighing on financial markets. Investors will want some more clarity over when this sign-in summit will happen, or what the sign-in summit really means. Generally speaking, that's going to be the next catalyst towards any more risk appetite markets, which would mean stronger stock markets, better risk appetite, and of course, emerging market currencies can gain from that as well.
Jameel, thank you so much for your time this morning. That's Jameel Ahmad, who's the Global Head of Currency Strategy at FXTM.